Mario, which is one of the coolest, most unique rides and overall theme park experiences I've ever been to. It is amazing. I've also never been to one that was like that new. I mean, it was less than a month old. And, you know, like we like Disney and we'll go again and we've been before, but like Disney doesn't there's not any part of Disney that like everyone in our family loves like the Disney movies, right, like, I mean, yes, the Marvel movies, and I know they're kind of expanding that more and more now, but not Star Wars
stuff. That's your thing.
If that's your thing, if Disney stuff is your thing, then awesome. But we everyone in our family, kids and me especially, love Nintendo and grew up on Nintendo, and they play their Switches all the time, and we play classic Nintendo games together, and it is incredible. Even as crowded as it was it is wild crowd. Like when we were there, so the way that we'll get into some.
The first tip is don't go Easter week, but that was the week we had to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, don't go when we went. But
if you are gonna go,
it's incredible. I cannot recommend the Super Nintendo World enough. I think it was so fun. And what I like about it is unique in the sense, though, you get the little power bands. Do you know anything about it?
Just I've looked at it a little bit because we're gonna go in June.
Oh, great! So, Okay, great.
Well,
so I'll talk
to you.
Andy.
Yep. So I'm tuned in.
So you get the power bands, and now
those are extra, but just FYI.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, see, I need to know that.
Yeah. You do have
the Mickey ears. You know,
get them in Universal City before you come into the park. Go into the Universal store and buy them there.
The night before we went to Universal City.
I am a question asker in person. So I went and I asked, what do we need?
We looked everything up online.
All of it I had researched in, but then I was asking them, what time do I need to get there? What do I need to do? How do you recommend? And an employee will happily tell you all those things.
Yeah.
And so you go in, and so you get the risk, and now you go in, and everything's interactive. There are little hidden coin boxes everywhere you can do. There's the ride, there's the Toadstool Cafe, which I'll recommend in a second how you do that. But the coolest thing is they have little different games that you play. And if you get a badge for the 3 out of the 4 games, then you get a whole secret area that you have to show that you got all 3 badges and scan into. And then you go do you become part of a video game that you like a VR experience with, and you're throwing fireballs at Bowser Jr. and stuff. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very, very cool and very, very different. And the Mario Kart ride is awesome. It is really, really fun. One of the best rides I've ever been on. It is super fun.
Yeah.
We did it like 4 times. It was great.
Yeah.
Now, tips. It is surprisingly cheap to get the early admission into the park to go to Mario World. Like $20 a person. Like I thought it would be like $200 a person, $100. Like surprisingly cheap. They do a thing where the park opens at 9 and
maybe 8.
Park opens at 8.
Yeah.
And you can get into the park at 7. And the only thing that's open is Starbucks and Super Mario World. So you get to Super Mario World, and you can get through. You can do the ride twice easily within there, which is a big deal. Like, when we were there, that it was getting up to a 3-hour wait.
We were in line when the park opened at 8. And we watched everyone come down the
because
escalators.
Have you been to Universal? Yeah, they have the escalators are the real ride.
Yes,
right?
They are.
Yeah. They're the iconic ride there.
Yeah, everyone's like the tour and the escalators.
Yeah. It's great. So you can get in for surprisingly cheaper than you think. I mean, certainly cheaper than a fast pass. And
but I think we were still in line when the park opened at 8. But we were in line.
No, we rode it twice before the. Oh no!
Maybe that was the second time.
Let me see here.
Listen,
let me rephrase it.
It was so early.
We rode it twice before the lines got crazy.
Okay.
And then we went into the rest of the park, which was pretty open at that point.
So we were like in line for the hotel shuttle at like 6:20.
Yeah, we did an early morning, which is not our family style.
No, we got a picture with Mario and Luigi at like 7:05. and we're like,
Luigi Mario hasn't had his mushroom yet.
Exactly. Even he looks groggy. But so you can do it depending if you're going on a weekend. Like if you're going on a weekend in June, you're gonna want to get that. And
yeah,
and that's when you can do a reservation at Toadstool Cafe, which is like their food there.
you have to get in the Mario World,
Yeah.
to make a Toadstool reservation.
There are 2 places worth eating in Universal Studios. Toadstool Cafe is amazing. It's great. The food's fun. It's not incredible. The best family food
It's very
experience that you can have
themed,
there, though,
though.
is the Harry Potter plate. I don't remember what it's called. Something probably something to do with
Probably
a
like
dragon.
dungeon
I don't
or
know.
something.
It's great because they got like a big family thing that you can do, and there's alcohol, and you can
It's
sit.
like a tray of chicken and veggies.
It's a big
Yeah.
family tray for like $60. It's
Yeah.
great. You know, which is
It's like
theme park
actual
is
food. And
yeah.
there's not a lot of places to sit in Universal. Like you'll see like the streets are just like lined with people trying to avoid
Right.
sun. And that place is indoors and it feels like you're inside,
right.
a Harry Potter movie.
Right. It's
So,
fantastic. What I would recommend for those trying to go on a busy weekend, and this might be a lot of you because Universal is cool and you should do it, is one of the days, do the early admission, get in, make your reservation right away to Toadstool. So you do it one day. If you're going to
Claire
do
was,
that,
like,
if your kids want to do that.
squealing.
Yeah. Kids
She
was like, Claire's like, well, because it's
losing
Toad
it.
and Toad's the cutest one. Toad is so cute.
Yeah.
And the best Mario Kart character, at least from the
And
era that I
they
played.
have like
Yeah,
videos
for
of
sure.
him all over the restaurant.
Oh, he's cooking. I watched
and-
him cut up the carrots for a while. Oh,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, he's doing the carrots again. It's amazing. We had a great
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And also, we are going to need to download the app because
the Universal app.
the Universal app. The Universal app is great. Tells you wait times. And when the park opens, you have to make a reservation just to get into the Mario Land area.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of the afternoon, like maybe 6 or 7 p.m., you don't. They just let you in.
Sometimes, yeah.
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 Depending on how busy it is.
But if you pay for
Yeah.
early access, do you not have to make that
You
reservation?
do not have to make that reservation. Yeah. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Because you're already in.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you can have done the Mario World for like an hour and a half before it got wild, got everything you need out of it, and then the rest of the park's kind of open for you. So, and down there in that lower area, it's like you
Got
can go boom,
Jurassic.
Transformers, Jurassic, Mummy, you're out of there. You've done it. Now you can go
Mhm.
up and do Simpsons and all
or
that kind
But
of stuff.
then I'm curious, if you made a reservation for Toadstool's Cafe later,
If
Then
you
they
have,
let you
they'll
in.
let you back in
that?
for your
They let you back
reservation.
in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's nice because you might like, you want this our lunch, this dinner, what kind of situation do we
well,
want?
and honestly, the lines, at least for us, like for any of the snack places, are really long.
The lines got pretty
so
long.
you actually do want to have those 2 meals that we just said if
Yeah.
you're there like a day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Universal
you gotta go to
is
at
a
least one of
great-
those.
Are
Yeah.
you going 1 day or 2 days?
I mean, I was probably thinking 2.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
what we had
Which
in
I
mind.
think is the way to do it, and you can,
That way you have more time.
and it's
If
like
you can.
it's like
Yeah.
all parks that if you get there early or if you stay there late, those lines get pretty light, and you can
If you can stay, yeah.
if you can stay,
Mhm.
it really starts to clear up. Mario does not. Mario never clears out. Oh yeah, one of the nights.
the first night.
The first night we were
Yeah.
like, hey, let's go do Mario one more time. We already done it twice, and
we stayed like 15 hours.
yeah, we that first day
Yeah.
we got there an hour before the park was open, and
Yeah.
we shut it down. We're like the last
Mhm.
people. We did a full day at Universal. We walked like 9 miles. And we literally, I'd stood in the line and we had divided up, and I went and stood in the line, and then you guys came and met me, but then you stood in the line for a while too, like close to 2 hours, and we were literally getting into the cart.
We have these like visors.
Yeah.
And we're like
It's a VR thing, right?
stepping
Yeah.
into the car.
Literally stepping into the cart, and the guy's like pointing me a different direction. I was like, what you want to get in this cart? And he's like, no, we have to evacuate the building. I'm like, what? And it's like 10 minutes before the park closes. And
You had to
and
evacuate
then
the world.
and then I realized the fire alarm was going off, and everybody had to leave. And we were like literally getting on. Thank goodness we had ridden earlier that day. We were like getting,
and we were coming back the next day.
and I will never not be convinced that someone pulled that alarm that worked there, because they looked at that line and goes, "There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
We let too many people in. We're gonna be here."
Till 11:30.
We're going to be here till 11:30.
Yeah.
We forgot to cut the line off. We totally misplayed this. How do we get them all out of here? And then someone said, I know how.
Abort.
And still had a great time. And
Yeah.
because I like a real dad, was like, so wait, how come we don't get back in? And we waited in line for 2, and they wouldn't give you an answer, and I could
They're
see
like, at this time, sir, please go this way.
Yeah, there's nothing I was gonna do. They don't care. Why should they? They're not Mr. Universal. They don't have a stock in my happiness here.
It
you know?
was too bad.
It was an unfortunate thing, and I really felt bad for the kids that were like not our kids that had not ridden it yet. And you're like, this kid might be going friggin' back to Duluth tomorrow. So
we did look into something that we hadn't before.
Yeah. One thing that one thing that we did that we didn't, as a friend had recommended, is they do have some accommodation for kids with disabilities or anxiety or ADHD. And I forget what the pass was called, but you go to guest services, and it's actually a really good system. Because
we were kind of like, well, I don't know, are we like cheating the system? But then when we learned what the pass was, it actually made
it's fantastic.
Ton of sense.
So what it is, it's not a skip the line pass. It's not, you don't get like a fast pass or anything like that. What happens is you can go to the line and to the front of, say you want to go ride my favorite ride, Transformers, and you go to the ride and you show them, the pass for you and your family member, and they tell you when to come back. So you can come back at 1 p.m. or whatever. And then when you do come back, you get a fast pass, essentially. You kind of skip the line. But you can only do one at a time. You can't go around to all the different rides and be like, well, my schedule's full for the day. So you do end up waiting the same amount of time. You just don't wait in line, which is smart and accommodating, because that line is the struggle for the kid with anxiety or ADD or disability. The line itself is the struggle. Walking around the park, looking at stuff, grabbing a snack.
Just eating and running to the bathroom. You're not like doing 4 other rides.
No, you can't.
Like,
play a game,
you're
something
staying
like
in the
that.
same area.
Yeah. So if that applies to, any of your kids, I definitely would recommend looking into it, because it really made for a smooth day for us, because knowing exactly when to get back. Now our little girl with anxiety would be like, we're going to be late. We got to get back to the time. And you're like, all right, well, I'm glad to see you so passionate about getting there now, but so I would definitely recommend that. Definitely get a Universal app like we recommended. The food ones, what to avoid. My favorite ride is Transformers. I think there's a lot of great rides. If you struggle with motion sickness, stay off the Harry Potter ride. That's a bad one. But I could do the other ones. I could do this.
You finally did Simpsons.
Finally did Simpsons, which is a great ride. It's really, really fun. So.